Today we're talking with Simon Raik-Allen, the CTO of MYOB. Simon, it's clear that you have a real passion for driving innovation. Thinking about sort of the CIO or CTO role, do you think it's important that a CTO or CIO have that mindset?
Absolutely. When you look at Apple, what an amazing example of a company that innovated, right? They took the Walkman that was dead and turned it into the biggest thing since sliced bread. They were getting more revenue from products that they have made in the last 3 years than they were getting anywhere else. So innovation is key, and innovation comes at many levels. It's not like let's have an innovation project right now. We'll make something innovative.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen. Innovation is a mindset, and when that spark comes to you, right, that magic comes, you need to be ready as an organization to take it on, right? And if your employees are not thinking innovatively and they're not there with that mindset, that when that idea comes along, A, they could miss it, or B, they may not be able to execute on it.
Sure.
So getting everyone involved in innovation and thinking innovatively is really important. And you got to think about the time scale and the time frame that you work on, and what's your investment along. People think, if you want to do innovation, you got to spend years and years on projects. Innovation can come from just driving people's thinking in a 1 hour meeting.
Sure.
Right? How can you push the envelope in a 1 hour meeting so people think as broad as they can about what is possible, and then bring it down to what you can deliver. And if you keep following that diamond approach,
yep,
it's very powerful, and it's not traditionally this big time waster and that you may get no return from.
Sure. Now, we speak to a lot of people in technology every day. My question to them is always, what are you looking for in your career? What's your advice to someone that's aspiring to your role?
So I probably get that question a bit too. I don't really have a really top answer for them, because I actually don't know what it all. I don't know what all those attributes are that come together to make one. So what I can tell you what I focus on in my career. I focus on, one is technical excellence, right? So how do I become the best software engineer and understand technology the best that I can, and then B, how do I deliver it, and C, I've made sure that I've had a really broad brush of technologies in my career. I've worked on instant messaging, I've worked in reporting, I've worked on television sets, I've worked on a whole variety of trading exchanges, I've worked in e-commerce, I've built a wedding registry site, so I've seen a lot of things, and I think that breadth has given me the ability to really see the long-term impact of technical decisions. Like, you can say, I will choose a technology now, what does it mean now? Yep. But I think to be a great CTO, you've got to have the vision for which decisions that you're making now, how will they impact your business in 10 years?
Sure.
And that comes from really having that breadth of experience, working with things for a long time.
Sure. So having a vision and then I suppose the strategy behind that to implement that vision.
Yep.
Okay. And on your way up to the role of CTO, where did you draw inspiration from, and has that changed at all?
So I really met some great people in Silicon Valley, right? I mean, when I went to Silicon Valley, it was my first job ever, and I'd come out of university. I'd been in university for 10 years at that time.
Yep.
And seeing the real world of what, the skill that I'd been learning, what they could deliver to real people, really spun me out, and it really inspired me. And then on my journey, I met just a handful of really great people. So when you find someone who you think works well, who executes well, and you can look up to, just stick with them. In some cases, I followed the same guy to 3 different jobs, right? Because my mentors, I followed around 2 or 3, and you find, and especially in Silicon Valley, we found this, that people do kind of find the people they work well with, and then you kind of move around with them, and it's a win-win. You get to be with the people that you really feed off for a long time, and they get to work with you, and they understand you, and those relationships are really important, right? Of people really well, because that's where you can really draw knowledge. That's when you really start to create a relationship where you actually learn something from them, watching them operate on a day-to-day basis, being on their on the inside of being on their inner team. You really get their deep insights, as opposed to watching a YouTube clip of a CIO.
Sure. Now, we've seen the role of CIO and CTO change a lot in the last couple of decades. What do you see as the main function of the role today, and where do you see it heading in the future?
Yeah, once again, it's a tough question. I think CTO and CIO is different.
Sure.
So a CTO is a role that happens more in a company that have a software product focus.
Sure.
So my role is very much focused on the products that we bring to market.
Okay.
What's their technology? What's their architecture? What are our clients wanting to do with that technology? The CIO is often focused more on internal systems.
Yep.
So there's a little bit of differentiator there. In the US, they also have a role called VP of Engineering, which is not either of those roles, and they're the commercial lead of the development team.
Okay.
Right? So they take on the budgets and the financials, etc., and the people management, the line management of running a great engineering team.
Sure.
So in the US, you have those kind of three roles. I think in Australia, those three roles are very much mixed up. When I joined MYOB, my boss said to me, "Simon, what would you like your title to be? Just pick whatever you like." Right? And so I always wanted to be a CTO, so I didn't think hard or think for very long on what I wanted to be.
Sure. And do you see the roles separating further in the future, or possibly integrating more into one?
That's an interesting question. I think that's a definitional debate. I think certainly when you have a software focus, you want someone with a really strong software, technology, innovation background to be driving that strategy, right?
Sure.
And that is different to, I think, making your internal systems work better and more efficiently and enabling an organization. It's different to enabling your clients and their organization. So, I know companies here that the role is together. I know them that are separate. I don't think the role makes a difference. I think it's the focus on where you want to be and what you're trying to achieve for your clients, and knowing who your clients are, that'll make a bigger difference.
Sure. Today we've spoken with Simon Raik-Allen, the CTO of MYOB. He shared some fantastic insights into both technology now and into the future around mobility. Thanks very much for your time, Simon. I'm sure our audience will appreciate your views on all of these topics today.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thanks.